just explaining them about this, but nobody listen. So instead of talking with them, better we can do something. Wherever there's a problem, don't go and search solution outside. Solution will be inside.
For the first time that I could encounter someone who could see waste not as waste but as a resource.
We are calling it as a garbage or waste or trash or rubbish, kachara, whatever the name. It's all negative name we are using, but we forget to use two names. One is it's a raw material or it's a resource. After long study, finally we got the chance that nothing will go to the garbage dumping route.
When you are in the train, as soon as you enter the city, the first thing that you encounter is there is a drainage that is going out. Sometimes if it is a bigger cities, it is a bigger drainage. And the first thing that welcomes you is the nasty smell.
Just imagine the volume of water 15 to 20% which comes out, which is black water, and we're adding the 80% of the grey water into the black water and spoil the entire water. Now there's no option, we have to treat everything together. So that's how the new project was invented, that is called drainage to diamond.
More than 70% of India's population is rural. It lives in the villages. So a project like this would have a lasting impact on people. When you said there are two types of waters and how do we separate them, what happens to this water, what happens to that water?
All the drainages, wherever the drainage comes and joints are coming, that joint area will make a sump. So the water comes and fall naturally and then fill the organic material and plant the plants on the top surface. So that the complete drainage will be plantation will be done on the top.
Hello and welcome to Mindful Moments. Often when we look at people, there are certain things that catches our attention. It is the work that people do. It is the behavior that people display. Sometimes it is the way that people respond. Sometimes it is the way that people think. It is their thought process that really catches our attention. There are people who have made change in the world. We call them changemakers. They are people who have tirelessly looked at the positives of the world. No matter what comes in front of them, they do not look at the problems, but they look at the solutions. Do we find those people here? Of course, there are so many of them around us. Today, we have one such person around us. He's today in the studio, and we would want to hear from his experiences what his journey has been like. Our guest for tonight is Srinivasan ji. He is the advisor for solid liquid resource management at Swachha Andhra mission, the government of Andhra Pradesh. But for over last 33 years, he has worked in the field of waste management, whether it is solid waste management or liquid waste management. His projects has earned him many accolades, many awards for his work in recognition of what change that he was able to inspire in the society. Today, in Mindful Moments, let's have a conversation with him. Srinivasan ji, welcome to the show. First of all, congratulations on the work that you've been doing and knowing that someone who has been involved in the process of creating a clean society, creating a green nation, creating a clean world, having a vision for that cleanliness itself is a commendable job. And it comes as no surprise that here in India, where the father of the nation, Mahatma Gandhi, was an epitome, an example of cleanliness. And we all celebrated, and we still celebrate his birthday as the National Cleanliness Drive also. There is a Swachhata Kranti happening. People have called themselves Swachhagrahi. And slowly a new movement of a sort has begun where people have become more conscious about how they use things, how they dispose things off. But yet you are someone who has worked in that field, who has seen the problems that people face in the society, especially in regards to management of cleanliness and management of waste and how disposal happens. So a lot of those things have gone into people's minds also. And today when we see something dirty, something which is not so clean, everybody say, no, this should not be like this. We all expect it to be clean. But how did it begin for you? Because you have been working in that field for quite a number of years now. How did that happen to you?
In my childhood, I seen the people polluting the atmosphere by burning the coconut fiber and all in front of the house. And once I tried to stop that, and while doing that, the people who are burning that, they are uneducated people. They don't understand what is meaning of pollution, other things. While as a student, I'm just explaining them about this, but nobody listen. So instead of talking with them, better we can do something. So that's how I started the program. And stage by stage, I come to know that sanitation is the base. Without sanitation, you cannot think about the development of any nation. So based on that, we started with the solid waste management. In the initially, it's called garbage to gold, and stage by stage it was developed. And 2010, it is called solid and liquid resource management. So after long study, finally we got the chance that nothing will go to the garbage dumping route. So once that has been completed, we went to the wastewater management, because wastewater is another big problem. So always we call it a solid and liquid waste management or solid and liquid resource management. In that, solid almost completed now. Now we came to the liquid. So in liquid portion, like a garbage, you cannot shift it. So especially like a rural area, we cannot provide urban facility. So for example, we could not transfer all the entire wastewater through the pipeline to one transfer point, again from that pumping station to other pumping station, finally taking back to that STP plant, and all not possible in the rural area. So in that case, we need to find a innovative solution in their own location itself where it's generating. As per the nature, normally we say wherever there's a problem, don't go and search solution outside. Solution will be inside. The same thing. So the people are suffering with mosquito breeding, mosquitoes coming out, all this durgand coming from the wastewater, and wastewater has been blocked by the solid waste. A lot of issues are there in the drainage issue, and also the gradient of the road. People building the drainage, then the slope is not properly, then water will start stagnating. So in that case, we need to address all this issue together in one single project. So that's how the new project was invented, that is called Drainage to Diamond, that I like to present to you now.
Wonderful. Um, just because we understand that you have already worked with a similar solid waste management thing, and you successfully demonstrated it as a model of success where people could replicate that model and create cleanliness around them, how they could actually not see waste as a troublesome thing, but also see it as a resource. And it is for the first time that I could encounter someone who could see waste not as waste, but as a resource.
Yeah, not only resource, it's a non-stop raw material. Just imagine, without raw material, you cannot do anything. So the raw material in India is unwanted materials called garbage. We are calling it as a garbage or waste or trash or rubbish, kachara, whatever the name. It's all negative name we are using, but we forget to use two names. One is it's a raw material or it's a resource. So raw material means a non-stop job. We can recover the material and convert something which is required for farmers or recycling industries like that. So it's a non-stop. That means people will get lifetime job. Instead of collecting and processing it, we are burning it. We are throwing in a pond. We are throwing in railway lines, highways, roads, and burning it in the dumping grounds and polluting every atmosphere. And also, not only that, but after burning, the whole shape of the metal is changing. If it's a paper means paper, cardboard means metal is metal. But after burning everything, hazardous. It's dangerous to handle. That's why we don't want garbage dumping grounds. For that, we need to convert everything into cash. By converting into cash, we will self-sustain the project. One particular stage, if they want more income, we will fine-tune the same project and get more income through that. That's how this project takes an interesting turn now.
Yeah. Definitely, this is a new idea that many people might not be well versed with. Please introduce what this new project is about, especially when we talk about liquid waste. Now, you say liquid resource management. How do you really see it? Because when you go out, when you are in the train, as soon as you enter the city, the first thing that you encounter is there is a drainage that is going out. Sometimes, if it is a bigger cities, it is a bigger drainage. And the first thing that welcomes you is the nasty smell.
Yeah.
And you cannot stand it. Usually, people would close the windows and the doors of the train so that you don't have to bear the smell. But how does this give birth to a new project, and how does this translate into, like you said, as a resource, as a cash, as something which is valuable? How does that work? So let us hear from you.
See, normally the people supposed to have two type of water system. One is grey water, another is black water. The grey water is the water coming from the kitchen. Like for example, rice wash, dal wash, sabji wash, or sometimes they will wash the meat or fish or whatever there. and there is a vessel washing going on the sink in the kitchen. Then the people wash the floor weekly once or twice or something, and then they wash their kapada, cloth washing. Then they have the car, they wash the car on the top surface. All this water is called grey water. Without treatment, you can directly use it for your garden. The water called black water is coming from the toilet, or the water will come from the septic tank. So just imagine the volume of water 15 to 20% which comes out, which is black water, and we're adding the 80% of the grey water into the black water, and spoil the entire water. Now there is no option; we have to treat everything together. So that awareness we are creating to the people. Make sure that grey water should be used in your own garden, kitchen garden, and 20%, 30% only should be put in the septic tank. And if it's water, it will come to the drainage. But here in the villages, the soak pit concept is there. And also in villages, they have their cattle, where that not only the grey water, cattle urine, cattle floor washing, all water will be added in that. So in that case, there is no dyeing industry, chemicals are going to come, tanneries waste is not going to come, no other chemicals are not going to come in the rural area, and we got enough space in the roadsides and all. So that's how we thought better we can use the wastewater, treat the water in the street corners, and use the same water for the afforestation activities and greening of this, and also see that the income can be generated for those who are working, and also for the panchayat. That's how this project was designed.
Yeah. So just to get an overview of the project, this was specifically aimed and designed for people living in the rural communities, because we understand that especially India, almost more than 70% of India's population is rural. It lives in the villages. So a project like this would have a lasting impact on people, their livelihood, and the kind of sanitation that they might encounter in the villages. This would certainly change the pictures. So how do you go about doing this? Let us see what happens when you said there are two types of waters, and how do we separate them? What happens to this water? What happens to that water? And how are we going to do this?
See, right now, Government of India introduced Swachh Bharat mission. Through that, toilets being built in the house, and it is connected with the soak pit concept. So that human waste and the water coming out from the toilet goes to soak pit, and that automatically naturally it goes into the soil. And if they have even septic tank, that also not going to fill easily, because all these septic tanks are bigger size and the family is very small. So in that case, maximum water is absorbed by the soil, and few water comes out. That also will go to the soak pit. So now the grey water is the maximum thing which comes out in the drainages. And also people got the cattle urine, and the cattle floor washing water, and also the people just wash the car or two-wheeler or something, whatever is there, that water also come to the drainage. Other than that, rainwater may be joining there. So here what we are doing is all the drainages, wherever the drainage comes and joints are coming, that joint area we make a sump. So the water comes and fall naturally. From there, the water is pumped and used for these plants. Not only that, bottom of the drainage sloping is good, then we can put the stones or pebbles and make the water to travel through the stones. And we put the coconut fiber on the top of the stones, and then fill the organic material and plant the plants on the top surface, so that the complete drainage will be plantation will be done on the top. So the roots going down, and there's a coconut fiber is there, and bottom there's a stone. The water is moving through the stone, and if excess water comes, the water goes crossing the fiber and going up. The heavy rain comes up, the water going and crossing the fiber and come, but no mud will travel here and there. So the water is going up, but roots will go automatically, and automatically go and get into the water points, and they suck the entire water. So that's how this project was designed. So the entire grey water goes through the drainage, will be pumped after the treatment, and through this plant issues. So I'll explain that. It will be easy for you.
So please, let's begin with the presenter.
So it's called integrated and sustainable. This project should be integrated and sustainable, because it's a multiple problem. It's not one single problem. The one is durgandha, second water stagnating, and then garbage blocking the drainage, mosquito breeding and mosquito related disease, like that chain of things. So we want all this problem to be addressed in one single project. So multiple approach we are putting. So that's why it's called integrated and sustainable liquid resource management, we put it. So this project started already in the name of garbage to gold in the year of 2007 at Vellore. Now, after a long time, now recently I joined in Andhra government. There we started this pilot project in a village called Jupute village panchayat in NTR district. This is a road condition normally. So you can see the concrete road in the middle, and then there is a 3 or 4 feet gap, mud was allotted, and then there is a drainage, and there is also sometime mud is there. So that means this is a road. So I just try to test that soil in the roadsides, And there a lot of plastic covers and stones and the garbages, industrial waste and all dumped on the roadside, so that they want to level the road. So in that condition, we cannot do anything. So they have to remove it and then clean it and then replace it. And then I seen all the drainage. The drainage is not normally the plastic covers which is flying away. All this blocking the drainage and people throwing the bottles, plastic items, whatever they throw. And naturally, there's a lot of trees are there on the roadside. That drain is falling in the drainage and blocking the drainage. And cattle dung, which is there in the roadside, and all comes to the drainage and blocking. You can see that all the drainage almost is blocked and mosquito breeding is there. So that to be stopped parallelly. And then most of the villages, there is no drainage system at all. They put the well ring as a soak pit, they tried, and it was functioning for 2 or 3 months, and then silt blocking the bottom layer, and automatically water starts stagnating and that overflowing to the road. So people need to stamp on this water and just crossing. And animals, people, everybody crossing and walking on the same dirty thing. And other things, whenever there's a heavy rainfall, that then water flows fast and erode the soil and the bottom of the road. So now the concrete slab is there. It's a road before, it's becoming like a concrete slab. Without knowing that the tractors or power trailers or something is crossing on the top, they're breaking the road also.
Yeah. Because the soil underneath has
Yes,
eroded.
completely.
Yeah.
So like this, we are facing many damages there. So we need to finalize this in one thing. Now we can see all the stones, garbages, whatever is there, everything has been removed from that place. And then if you watch how much stones we removed. While removing itself, we segregated the stone sizes. Big boulders we separated, small stones separated, so that it's easy for us to reuse it again there for different purpose. So now you can see that road, both the roadside has been completely, mud is removed. After removing the mud, we also identified a lot of garbage and industrial waste, stones, all these things we removed, everything. Then whatever the stones we collected, the small tiny stones we filling in the both road and edges. It's like rainwater harvesting. So whenever the heavy rain comes or rain comes, the fresh water falling on the road should not go to the drainage and give more pressure to the wastewater management. So now we are filling all the stones, whatever stones we recovered from that area, to the edges. So it is replaced in a proper place. Same stone which is recovered and we put it in the same thing. That's why we call it as a resource management. Now you can see this is called industrial waste. A lot of plastic covers, plastic items are mixed together in the soil and that was filled before laying the roads. Now we are cleaning it and by sieving it and removing all the tiny plastics even. Remove everything and remove the soil separately. And that soil has been packed again into the gap. Now this is a stone, now you can see easily. The road edges are 6 inches breadth we filled the stone and 9 inches depth and refill the entire soil again, same location. Now you can see the road, perfect road. Road, rainwater harvesting, mud, drainage and mud. So now it is ready for wastewater management. Then both road edges we made a fencing with the casuarina pole and also coconut fiber. Both will stay for 2 years. So that type of net has been done and we trained this local SHG women through the Narega and other schemes. They have been learning how to make a net with the help of coconut fiber. So the strippers will come, the creepers will easily climb. And also we are not using the metal or plastic. So metal will heat and create a lot of trouble to the plants. And also plastic will get damaged easily because of the heavy summertime. So now because of the South India, we are planning to use coconut trees because coconut trees will grow very well and coconut we call Haranarel. Green coconut has a very good demand all over North India and also international market. So each and every village we want to plant at least 5,000 coconut trees in the government land wherever there is a vacant place. So we are shifting all these coconut trees and planting the roadsides every 30 feet because the coconut leaves will come 15 feet. So we don't want to overlap the leaves. So every 30 feet we are planting the coconut trees at the roadsides. Like that 5,000 trees if you plant from 2033 onwards, this panchayat will get minimum 1 crore rupees only from coconut every year through auctioning the trees. So that way we are trying our best to introduce this coconut plants and the coconut plant root system also interestingly 3 feet below it's going because planting itself is a 3 feet below. So the roots will go under the drainage and under the compound wall nearby. So it won't damage both.
Yeah.
And also the shallow root system. We can see the drainage silt has been removed and then after removing the silt we put the stones and then we open the drainage. Now the open drainage water flowing through the stones but it's going slowly. That's the only thing. But definitely it will flow. And then we put the coconut fiber, and then we put the locally we got buffalo dung. So we filled the buffalo dung in that, and then planted banana trees inside. So every 8 feet inside the draining banana trees, in the middle we put some canna plants, and also a lot of super napier grass slips have been planted everywhere. And every 30 feet coconut trees. In between the 30 feet coconut tree, we put every 6 feet palm tree seeds. So palm tree will go straight, and the coconut trees will only leaves. And also here we can see canna plants we put because it will absorb the heavy metals if it is available. That also supporting wicket. And under the fencing we put the ivy gourds, creepers, or spinach creepers. So why we choose ivy gourd? Because the ivy gourd will stay for 2 years. Once you plant the tubes, then automatically it will grow and the plant will stay for more than 2 years. Same thing for spinach also. So like that type of creepers we planted on this. Now you can see the whole super napier grass slips are start growing, banana trees start growing, all the creepers start climbing on the things. Now naturally the fencing has been created so that no animal or people will disturb the plants inside, because these are the plants going to treat our wastewater. Whatever the water is coming out, they are going to treat and convert into cash. For that we need to give them full safety and security for them from animals and people. So the fencing protecting them, and also the plants are growing there. And most of the villages we can see the street corners where the water never move, because both drainage has been built in different year. So because of that slope is not properly maintained, so the water is logging and lot of disturbance there. So better we cannot go and fight with the departments. Instead of that we can make a small sump and store the water, so that all 4 directions, 3 direction water will collect there. So once the water is stagnating, then we put the bacteria, we add the bacteria and put aerators like this. Normally we use the aerators, air bubbles in the fish tank in our home. The same thing, big, a little bit bigger size. So we have a lot of air bubbles are coming inside the tank. The whole night air bubbles comes, and also we added the bacteria, and then water is got treated, and that what treated water is pumped to over a tank nearby. So from there the water is been pumped to the plants automatically. For this, local SHG women have been identified, and they have been trained in this, and then they started working there. So whatever the water they're using, they will be treated water, and the treated water will be directly given to the plants within full nutrition. Now you can watch. This is the both side fencings are 8 feet. You just put a tube on the bottom and help the plant to climb first time. After that, it put its springs and automatically climbs and fill the entire gaps, because each and every leaf wants sunlight to be faced. So they're filling all the gaps and become like a beautiful green color compound wall, live compound wall. This live compound wall not only looks like green and compound wall, it's also generating income through the vegetables. Now you can see the entire road plants, and once the road is clean, the people don't want to throw any garbage. They're maintaining it clearly. People never defecate or urinate or throw any garbage in the roadsides. The road is used only for movement. Now they see the height of the fencing. So a lot of creepers going away. So they have to put it in a disciplined manner, so that it will be lying in the same fencing only. Now the final road, we can see that roads. Now this is the final target we achieved. So this is not only a clean road, it's also eco-friendly road. There you can see a lot of birds voice, birds songing there, and also natural smell you can feel, no dust, and also greenery, full of oxygen there. While we are walking, you can be happy to breathe yourself, and there's no garbage. You can see that not a single piece of garbage in the road. The people have now, once the people see the clean road, they don't want to throw anything. The dirty road they want to make more dirty. So the same way you can see that the system is completely workable. Now there is a road edges are completely 8 feet green wall, and then backside of that is fodder grass. Then coconut trees growing inside. Then palm tree seeds are growing, and then some places where there's we put the canna plants, so that tube can suck the water and filter and see the street corner, drainage corner, and all. We introduce canna plants, and then creepers climbing in the fencing in the front side. So this all compound wall start generating income through the ivy gourd. Now you can see the healthy ivy gourds. So once I produce everything, I start giving the ivy gourd for people to eat. People refuse to eat. Just simply told, this is grown in wastewater. How can we eat? I told, it's a nature. Nothing will happen. They never agree for that. So then I told, okay, I'll send it to lab. Then taken this to lab and we got an excellent result. So that means the nature plays its role perfectly. That I am able to understand. So all vegetable, and you can see not even a single leaf is yellowish. That means nitrogen rich water. So that was proved there. So that's how we are getting daily income from this. And second income is fodder. Normally these super napier guys will grow up to 5 to 6 feet height. But here, because of our nutrition wastewater collected from the door to door and going through the channel, no, that water is directly after treating we are giving to the plants. You can see the result. Up to 12 feet the grass grows. So without adding any chemical fertilizer or anything, continuously non-stop. Just you have to chop that grass every 45 days. Again you have to leave for another 45 days. Again you have to chop without adding any chemical fertilizer. Normally the fodder cultivation area, animal husbandry and all, they say once you harvest you have to put the urea, one bag full of urea. You have to second harvest or third harvest again you have to put 1.5, fourth harvest again increase. But here non-stop daily we are providing the nutrition water for the plant. That is the beauty of this. Now we can see the difference 90 days before how this project the road, and now 90 days later what is the condition. That means very simple, we understand the local people, if you are telling the truth and show that design how we are going to do, definitely they'll cooperate. And based on that 90 days we can able to achieve this. So before 90 days the road condition the same place. So the before after. So the step 1 cleaning the road, step 2 for completing the fencing, step 3 end result is
This is wonderful. Congratulations, first of all. And I believe for people who have seen it in just such a short period of time, 90 days or just 3 months.
Yeah.
And in 3 months, if you can change something like this, definitely, like you mentioned, everybody would like a clean road. Everybody would like to have a clean
and
vicinity.
it's also villages. You cannot even imagine. Now the small vegetables they're told. Now we put the big size vegetables. So people, if they can enjoy now. In front of the home, there is a fencing. Whatever the vegetable comes, let them enjoy. So that they can bring their own nutrition water and taking care of the plants.
Srinivasanji, when we look at things that have happened on a grassroots level, when we see that change can happen if you want to make it, and it is not difficult when you give an example in front of people, when you show them how to do things, people are naturally inclined to do it. And when people see change happening, they would want to be part of that change. Many people otherwise think that no, change is a very difficult thing. Who will become the change? And like you mentioned, like when we today talk about the Swachha Bharat Abhiyan, it is no longer just the cleanliness of sanitation, of building a toilet, but it is also about creating a better culture of cleanliness around us. And it is very rightly said that cleanliness is next to godliness. And everybody likes that kind of cleanliness when nature is green, when waste is managed properly. Everybody would like to be in that kind of environment, in that kind of society, in that kind of place. And you've shown that here. There are a few more questions about how this could be replicated and what are the things that technically one needs to understand. But I think looking at the time, we would have to stop here. But in the next episode, we would like to cover that as well. But I thank you today for coming and presenting this to us. To all our viewers who are watching it, wherever they are sitting, they would definitely be inspired to be this change as well. And just like Mahatma Gandhi said, you should be the change that you want to see in the world. And the Brahmakumaris have always said this, that all change begins from within. And if I change, the world changes outside. So I think that is an inspiration for everyone. And thank you for coming and sharing these thoughts with us today. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Miss.
Friends, in today's mindful moments, these were few amazing ideas and thoughts that would resonate with you too. If we want to make a change in the world, if we want to create a better world, if you want to create a cleaner world, it is possible. And all it needs is that will, that determination, that positive, noble thought that yes, I can and I will. I hope that you are inspired by what has been shared today in Mindful Moments. That's all for now. I'll see you again. Until then, take care.